Happy Friday. Last Friday of this month. So 2 months into 2024. Already going. Yes, Brandon. Friday land. So hey, Brandon, Jake, Josh, Nathan, Rob, Yair. We've got some new faces today. I see Chris and Debbie and some others in here. Giovanni just joined. Hey, everyone. Glad to have you on Friday, February 23rd, the IT Hour. We've got, as you see, we've got a pretty full screen here today. We've got lots going on. Hey, James. Hey, Ross. And we're going to have lots to talk about today. All right. So I'm Becky Scott. I'm your host, and Urvashi is our technical champion and my co-host. I know, but see, when you do that, Urvashi, with your stuff turned off and your background, I don't know if mine's going to do it. No.
Does it
That's
blur
all
my
right.
fingers?
Oh, there we go. Now it's doing it. Okay. All right. So, and we've got Ella from our education team, Jump Cloud University, and Isaac. Isaac, I think this is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah, this is my first time presenting.
All right. Well, welcome.
Thank
And
you.
of course, Rob, you've been here before, so welcome back. And we've
Thank you.
some, yeah. And we're going to talk about Jump Cloud University and device panels in the admin portal. So lots of interesting things to talk about. Now, as usual, we're going to start with the community updates and a little bit of product. And then Ella's going to talk to us about Jump Cloud University. And then we will jump into what Rob and Isaac are going to share with us. So usually we start with just asking everybody how their week has been and if do anything fun for the weekend.
Well, if we have 50 minutes, I can get into the long weekend that was my brother's wedding.
That's right. You had a wedding, which are multi-day affairs in India.
It was 6
right?
events over 4 days, and the last event had a grand total of 1,100 people. So I have taken at least 2,200 photos with people that I have either just met or I'm trying to remember. Oh, I'm like too scared to ask how much was spent on this wedding. It's too much
That's
how much I spent on
amazing.
my own outfits.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think I would need an extra week off just to sleep.
I should have taken Thursday and Friday off also because all the cousins are still in town and everybody wants to go out to lunches and dinners and have a packed weekend coming up also. I'm so tired.
Yeah. Steven says capitals in all capitals. Wow.
That was my reaction to all of it
Yeah.
also.
Brandon says that's a lot of photos. And Ross says, I spend money on onesies. Yes, he does. And he has sent us the photo proof of that. We were talking last week about, or I guess it was actually a couple weeks ago when he was talking about putting a onesie on and taking his photo at work, his ID with one. And we have since found out that he has several and it's awesome. So, yeah, I think onesies are a lot less expensive than, wedding outfits.
Although I am tempted to just show up to the next wedding in a onesie as an act of defiance.
Sometimes, I'll do it when it's really cold or at Halloween. So maybe before it gets warm, I will show up to an IT hour with my unicorn onesie.
Yeah.
It just might happen. So there you go. Anyone else? Any plans for this weekend besides you sleeping?
But I won't even be sleeping because I'll be at all the cousin hangouts. I mean, I love them. I hope they don't watch this. Love you guys.
I edited a book all weekend, last weekend when we had a 3-day weekend. So this weekend, I'm looking forward to just kind of like being quiet and not doing much, literally all 3 days. So, but it's done. It's out as of today. So yay. And actually, I'll talk about more of that in a minute. because there's a reason. I will talk more about that in a minute. All right, so community update. In scripts, Sheng needs some help with a script in Python, getting a list of users, but filtering by a specific username. So they are asking for help there in the community repo. So if you are good with Python, maybe you can help them out. And then under best practices, Warren is asking for help with SSO, multiple user access to functional email accounts. So Warren's asking for some help there as well, figuring that out. And the reason I mentioned editing a book is because if you remember last week when Ken was here, he had a little trouble with his microphone and stuff, and so we didn't quite get to everything we were going to do, but we were going to talk about his book because he just came out with a book about leadership, and that's what I was editing all last weekend, and it just finally got through all the Amazon hurdles it needs to get through and is out today. And I will share that link because I think everybody that was talking last week and asking a lot of questions might enjoy it. And so, Kelly says, go Ken. They had a lot of great questions for him last week. So thank you all for hanging in with all of the problems we got through. And we almost had one of those this morning with Isaac. We were like, no, we can hear you, but he couldn't hear us. So we were kind of panicking for a moment that we had the same problem. I'm glad we didn't. And in product releases and announcements, if you didn't see this already, Scott posted in the product news board, because JumpCloud Go now supports Microsoft Edge, Brave, and other Chromium-based browsers. Yay! So full support for Edge, Brave, and other browsers like Arc, Island, and Opera. And you can install the JumpCloud Go Chrome Web Store extension from within those browsers, and you'll be able to access organizational resources via JumpCloud Go. And we have that article and a document on the support site that gives you more information. So we will link that. You can go check it out. Please do. Yes, Brandon. Firefox has its own search store, which is why it isn't natively supported. And it's kind of a pain. And so it makes it more difficult to do that. So that's why it's not natively supported at this time. All right. So with that, Miss Ella, it's your turn.
Great. Thanks, Becky. I appreciate it. Well, I can actually do a little shameless plug for JumpCloud Go tutorial on JumpCloud University as I kind of go through some of our announcements. So hi, everybody. Those of you that don't know me, I pop into IT Hour every once in a while if we have something that I want to share or highlight what my team has done on the JumpCloud University site and just kind of keep you guys in the know. And one of the things I just wanted to share that we've been working on is an updated resource section on JumpCloud University. So JumpCloud University mostly has courses and content there, but we do have a new resource page here. We've had tutorials and simulations before, but we've currently gone through a pretty big update and audit of all of those. And there's some extra features on the pages now that you can see to make it easier for you guys to access and find the content you're looking for. So if you go up here to the resources, you click on the tutorial videos, for example. Of course, it's going to be real slow for me as I do this today. Why? I don't know.
It's the demo gods.
Yeah, demo gods. Now you can like search the list. So we can say JumpCloud Go. And now we can see there are 3, and we can talk about the browser extension, all the things here, but there are 3 specific tutorials that we have around JumpCloud Go that you guys can learn about those new feature updates. My team really tries hard. As a feature update happens, we try to have content or updated content out at 2 weeks within GA of that feature release. So you guys should be, once you hear a feature release announcement, please feel free to check it out or check out our resources on JumpCloud University for that. If we go back up here, you can also go to the guided simulation page. And demo gods are going to make it move a little bit slow. But our new simulations page here is pretty awesome. In fact, we've just got a new software a few months ago around this. So please take a look at our simulations. If If something ends up being more of a tutorial, like we're doing a video or longer content, more than a few steps, it'll be a tutorial video. If it's really more kind of prescriptive and step, and you need to be able to see how to do it in product and actually see the product integration, please check out our simulations for that. Also super great, you can actually filter by specific topics here for ease of use. So you can see, oh, I want to look around devices. What are the simulation contents we have for that? So super awesome around our tutorial and our simulation updates that my team's been working on. And hopefully you guys find it useful and can check out some of those resources there. We've also added specific end user resources. So we hear from our implementation team, a lot of times people are getting questions around, how do I train my end users? Most of our content in Jump Cloud University, actually all of our content in Jump Cloud University is really geared towards partners and IT admins. So we don't really want an end user from a company going to take a course on Jump Cloud University, but we know you guys need resources for that. So this new page here specifically shows you, hey, if you see a tutorial or a simulation content that's open for you to share with your end users, and it has a little yellow icon, that means it's an end user content for you to be able to kind of go and look through all of that. So on the end user page, you can actually filter by specific resource type. If you just want to show sims to your, and what sims do we have? If you want to look at just specific help center articles that we've actually integrated from thanks to our KB team here, or specific guides there. So super great learning resources for you all to kind of help really make it easier for you to find the kind of training content that you might need to support your end users there. So nice feature updates that I can announce there. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. And talking about simulation software, Nathan, we actually use a company called Novatic, which is helps generate kind of product walkthroughs and product demos and demonstrations. And we found that to be the ease of use there. So check them out. They're great, super easy to use if you're interested. Shameless plug for Novatic and the partnership we have with them. All right. Lastly, about what I wanted to just kind of announce, if you have one of our certifications, so if you're core certified or now the advanced certifications out, or if you're a partner and you have any of our sales or core for partner certifications, we are now on Credly. So Credly, let me share this tab instead. There we go. So we've actually been hearing, I've been at Jump Cloud for 2 years, and I've heard from customers almost once a month and see like, hey, are you guys on Credly? Or, oh, I got my cert. Can I get out? Can I publish this to Credly? So we now have the integration with Credly, and this is live and on the Credly site. You can see all 4 of our current certifications and badges are able to be added to your Credly profile. What will happen now is if you get a new certification or take one of the certifications, you'll get an email from Credly that says, hey, I noticed that you just passed our Jump Cloud cert. Would you like to add it to your Credly profile? You can easily do that through that integration, and then be able to kind of share your digital, your digital badge, share your skill sets from Jump Cloud on your Credly profile. On our blog, which I'm going to put here, that just announced this came out this week, that announced that integration. If you have received a previous certification from us and you'd like to have it requested for it to be added to Credly, please read that blog and fill out the request form. And then within a couple of days or about a week or so, my team will make sure that Credly stuff gets integrated for you, as long as you have an updated certification. So super excited. It sounds like, thanks, Brandon, that this is something that you are excited about. And I hope that meets your guys' needs and you can showcase your Jump Cloud skill sets and certifications more to the broader audience. So thank you all so much. I will stop sharing, Becky, and turn it back over to the team. If you guys have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thanks for the great feedback in chat.
Yeah, looks really great. Those badges look awesome. That just reminds me that I need to do a new batch on the community too and do those awards. So I need to get on that. But thank you, Ella. Really appreciate that. All right. With that, then Rob and Isaac, which one of you were going to go first here?
So we're gonna play fast and loose.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be talking, and Isaac is gonna be sharing. So see how this goes.
All right.
I feel like if you've ever seen Talladega Nights, like, what do I do with my hands? Like, I'm gonna be that guy since I'm not controlling a mouse or keyboard. So you may see some wild hands flying around in this chat. But Well, cool. Well, thank you guys. Again, for those of you who have not seen before, my name is Rob. I'm here, a product manager here at JumpCloud. I've worked primarily with the multi-tenant portal in the past, but we've done some big features for the admin portal as well. And now we're more of a platform experience team now. So that means we'll be enhancing UI and experience across the JumpCloud sphere in general. And one of the pieces that we've been working on is actually one of the busiest pages in our entire admin portal is the device page. So many of you guys are now, you're going to be seeing something that's technically being worked on right now, but it is coming very soon. And we want to give this as a sneak peek to you guys. And then anybody that's interested in kind of like a beta experience, reach out to me, rob.mcgrath@jumpcloud.com. I'll be happy to get your org ID and get this all kind of in place. But we wanted to enhance the device experience inside the admin portal because there's some spots we can improve. And there were a lot of opportunities to make this kind of take advantage of the gigantic displays that we now have, and we've done so. So if you want to pull up one of those devices, you're used to that, the drawer kind of sliding up from the side and kind of leaving like a little bit of real estate in the middle there. We've converted this to a full page view and brought some important new features to the devices. So we've made it easier to find important information like a JumpCloud system ID. It's right there in front of you now. You don't have to go and try to find it in the details page. You may also notice that there's a details page that's now a different name. It's called Insights. So we wanted to elevate system insights and make that a lot easier to navigate. But also, we wanted to bring in the ability to run actions, which our team had put out about a year ago. We put that on the device table and on the MTP. We wanted to let you do that as well in the actual device page. So now you can do things. If you want to click on that actions button, Isaac, you can actually see now you can run important commands on this, including running, starting a remote assist session, running ad hoc commands, or running existing commands on a device. These kinds of capabilities were not really there on the device page before, but now you can do that without having to go back. So we want to keep you in that context that you're in there as well. But go ahead and go to the Insights tab real quick. This is, I know we're going to probably get deeper into this, but again, there's a new facelift to this. So there's no longer like menus and drop downs you have to click through. One of the things that I like the most is if you click that export button, you can get all of your system insights dumped into CSVs extremely quickly compared to before. You don't have to go through and click in a bunch of different options, downloading individual CSVs. Now you can actually get it so it dumps it all into a nice handy zip file, which you'll actually be able to just deal with it however you want to deal with it as an admin. So
yeah, and I'll jump in. I'll jump in
yeah,
to further explain this. So currently, your export will just export the view you're looking at. So now, if you click export, you can select which sections and subsections you'd like to pull out of JumpCloud and into a CSV. So if I want to do, everything besides operating system, I can click that checkbox. If I want to go into just software, I can very easily specify which subsections I want to download. And then you just click export and that would download right to your device.
Yeah, this is a big improvement from the previous experience of like clicking and individually getting CSVs. So it's very exciting. I'm excited to see this as a guy who's had to do this before for any number of reasons. Usually it's compliance related. I have to dump a bunch of data into a single form somewhere. Your life hopefully just got a little bit easier. And with that, obviously, go ahead.
I'll just continue. Yeah, sorry. I'll just continue with this page. We felt that we really needed to elevate all the insights that you guys can see. So they're a lot more discoverable now. It's very easy to click through the tabs here and then see on the right side where you want to go. What information do you want to see, and go right down to that section of the device and back and forth as you need. And it's very easy to find it now. So we're really excited for this feature specifically within this entire new device page.
Yep, big time. This is a big change, and it's exciting to see, and it will save you a lot of clicks. That's the goal. Is way less clicks to get this done. In addition to the insight section being improved and completely changed, there also have been you might notice a brand new tab that didn't exist before, and that's commands. Now this was like an experience that, like, before, to know if a device was bound to a command or a command was bound to a device, you would have to go to every individual command to see if it was checked. And here you can actually see if it's been set up to be bound to that command. You can actually see it right there, and just like every other section of the product, you now have show bound or show unbound commands. You can see all of those as well. You can run it in an ad hoc fashion as well by clicking that run command button on the right side of it. So you don't have to worry about unassigning or doing anything like that. But also we've brought the recent commands section up there. So if you want to see a quick glimpse of like, hey, has anything been run on this recently? You don't have to go and find it anymore in the commands results section. You can see here that these are the top 5 most recent commands that have been run on this device. So big change, exciting to have this in there, and really just small tweaks here. And this is just the beginning. The most exciting part for us on the inside of JumpCloud is knowing that this is the foundation to be able to further enhance the device section. And really, when a new feature comes in, we could drop it in a lot easier now. Now we have a framework that we can work with moving forward. So super excited. Anybody that's interested in seeing this, that's my product spiel. Let me know. I'll be happy to get your org ID and we'll get you plugged in and we'll get this turned on for you. You can start kicking the tires very soon. So once the beta is out there, we'll get this ready for you guys. So Isaac, if you have any other things you'd like to highlight, this is perfect for you.
Yeah, I think you mentioned bound commands. This device didn't have any, so I'll show that on policies. So if you click that checkbox, then it'll show those commands that are just bound to this device specifically. And I think one of the biggest things we wanted to share was how this new experience really fits your screen size better. So I'm looking at a pretty large screen here. It's about 2,000 pixels wide, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like at some different viewpoints and to show how we're really focusing on responsiveness going forward. So looking here in inspect, this is at 1440, where now we see everything, wraps and moves correctly here. So if I go smaller, you'll start to see some changes. So looking at 800, we're now looking at a smaller space. The tabs will scroll across the top. And some of that content, some of those cards are now stacked on top of each other to meet this screen size. And if we go even smaller, I'll look at 600 here. Our actions button now becomes wide across the whole screen, allowing you to do all those same actions right there. So if you ever need to, lock a device, restart a device from on the go, you should be able to do that on your phone as well. I think that shows most of the features we wanted to share. Rob, was there anything else you wanted to look at here?
No, that mostly highlights it. Again, this is we're very excited to get this in your hands. So again, I can't emphasize enough. Reach out. We'll be happy to get you guys on the beta when this comes out very soon.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing a poll because people said, forget emailing you guys. We just want to show our interest via a poll. So I did put one up, and we've got 7 people that have said, yes, sign me up. So I will pull either Urvashi or I will pull the results from the poll and be able to tell you who raised their hands for that. And
sweet.
Verbalizing that once again, that poll is, it's up to 10. See, once I mentioned it,
there we go.
Like, yeah, let me vote. So the IT hour is great for getting signups for stuff like this. So tell your other PM friends, by the way. And Nathan said, I emailed and responded to poll. People who did both get in first, yeah? Maybe so. All right, so we have a bunch of questions. So this is awesome because I love when people have questions for y'all. Would be cool if policies showed confirmation that they applied, and some other people, agreed with that. So is that actually already in there or planned?
So the policy results shows that, but if there's a different view you're interested in seeing, I would love to learn more about that. The best way, push that submit an idea, do screenshots, do whatever you can to highlight specifically what you're looking for, and we can try to internalize it or shape it or enhance what we have and make sure it actually meets your needs. But that would be my best guess for this.
Okay. And then another question by the same person. Rob, do you handle the UX for the admin portal also for the lock screen? He has a concern that may impact compliance in our region from an accessibility standpoint.
I would feel free to put in a request, and you can email me as well if what like kind of like the body of that is, and I'll get it to the right people. But the best way, submit an idea so we have it documented internally, and I can get the right people assigned to it and get it all kind of going there. But feel free to reach out to me, and I'll figure it out. But yeah, in general, I'm the admin, like the basically the platform experience on the team for that. So if you encounter it, in theory, I might be dealing with it.
Great. And James wants to know, are the applications showing actual applications, or is it still showing random system processes mixed in?
So the system insights is the exact same data as it is today. So we just made it packaged and presented in an easier way to digest. So you don't have to wait for individual sections reload. So it's the exact same data that you would have today. So any other section, literally the same endpoints.
Great. And Kelly wants to know if this is coming to the MTP at the same time.
So this is specifically inside the admin portal. This is only changing a side that pops out to a full page view. So if you do use the MTP and you deep link, like you click on a device and you go there, it will load into this view. But the MTP's view of a device is not changing at this point in time.
Gotcha. And boy, Brandon, you're on fire today. Suggest making it more visible for the horizontal scrolling as well. Some devices don't have the ability to scroll easily horizontal.
Duly noted.
Gotcha. And James wants to know, is this mobile friendly?
Yes, this is definitely more mobile friendly than the existing side. But obviously the more responsive we make sections of the portal, it will be over time get much more. But this is definitely going to work better on a smaller display. So if you log in on console.jumpcloud.com/admin, you can test it out and see how it kind of goes there. But it is designed to work better on a smaller display than it does currently with the existing the side that pops out.
Yeah, and then we've got the opposite from Brandon, as someone who has an ultra-wide monitor and use 1/3 mode. I can't wait to see if this makes it easier to manage navigation, as I currently have to collapse the UI all the time.
Looks like Isaac's doing some explosion magic. There you go.
I'll close that so we can see what's happening here.
Yeah, I lost the mute button there, but I'm just showing at 2,500 pixels. I'm not sure how wide that ultra wide is, but yes, we are working on how our layouts can be more responsive and use more of the screen on those bigger screens. So that's definitely something and I can't take credit for all this. Other designers did a lot of this work here, and they were focused on all sorts of screen sizes that matched our usage data for our admins.
Awesome. And then one more. Let's see. At the same time, can we release push login versus code for the admin login?
That would be probably, I would 100%, if you've not put in ideas for submissions for that, definitely put that in. This, I would say another team would be working on something like that, but that would be pretty sweet to have a push notification, because I'm not a fan of TOTP. So, but especially switching between all these test accounts, it could be a little stressful. But definitely heard, Stephen. You are 100% heard.
Oh, yeah. Someone else said push for admin. Definitely. Oh, Nathan says 5120 by 1440 ultra wide.
That's pretty huge. At that point, your monitor has its own like zip code or something.
Yeah. It's even got its own weather system. Credit if you know what that's from. And hi, Stuart. Better late than never. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. I can't even see that. There is
perfect.
No way.
It's like
your
the Sistine Chapel of admin consoles.
I'd have to zoom in to like 250% to even be able to read the font on there.
You get your steps in just going to read from one end of the display to the other. Just
Yeah. You could definitely fit a lot more things on it, that's for sure, because then you could have like 10 different things just lined up, just all on your screen. Rob says it goes to show that you can't win them all. I'm about TOTP because you can't rely on stable internet in this locale. I could see that. I mean, where my parents live, it's not super stable either. So
I've had to go to those servers that are like where the network's been bricked and they only had push notification turned on, and I just twiddle my thumbs until the internet comes back. So yeah, I feel your pain, Rob. It must be in the name.
maybe so. And Steven says done it a few times. Just hope we can make it happen soon. Hate that I can do push on the user portal, but not admin. Yeah, I could see that. And Rob says, also, I'll see your wide and raise you 4 5K monitors with no DPI scaling. All right, that might be overkill. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you've got your own mini knock or something. So maybe you need all that. No idea. We'll give you a hug, Urvashi, you know.
Every time I get like an error or somebody says like your internet connection is unstable, it's like, so am I, internet. So am I. But here I am getting through the day.
Nathan says more monitors equals better. I just don't have the space for that. I think that's my problem. Maybe I just need to start stacking them. One here, and then up above. I'm just going up. I have room up. I just don't have room side by side. Priorities. You're right.
Just get
Nathan.
Apple Vision Pro, and yeah, exactly. Just
Infinite
wear your
space.
15 monitors on your face.
There you go. A projector. There you go, Ross. Maybe I need a projector. Rob says, I got 3 terminals, Crowdcast, OneNote, web browser, and a virtual console for an OS install. I need my screens. Real estate. So yeah, I guess you do, Rob. So, all right then. Great questions. Let's see what our poll is looking like. Oh, 14. So we've got 14 volunteers. Urvashi asks, are there more rats or screens? Yes. That's what Rob says. For those of you who are new to the IT Hour or don't know, Rob he has several rats as pets, and they're adorable. We have seen pictures. So, more rats. 7 rats, only 6 monitors. So there you go. That answers that. Now we know.
We have a very important question from Ross. This is directed to Isaac. Wonder how it would look full screen on the Sphere in Vegas.
Great question.
That's actually what we're designing for. That's the primary use case we're looking for, is the Jump Cloud admin console on the Sphere.
And then just like show your API key. Make your API key and all that just visible.
Yeah, yes. But how does it look with the rounded corners and everything? Because that would be kind of.
You'd have to get a drone. Get a drone to go across.
And Ross says that's what I'd hoped. So there you go. All right, you're thinking ahead. No doggo picture tax. I mean, we can implement one, Brandon. We can't. Or just put it in the sky with a fleet of drones. I mean, Michael said a fleet of drones. So I'm thinking, yeah, put it in the sky with a fleet of drones. And then when you move them around, that's how you manage your admin.
And we're going to translate this to cuneiform. So to make it ultra accessible across millennia, we'll make it in hieroglyphics as well next quarter. Jump Cloud and hieroglyphics. Cover all our bases.
Nathan says on Sphere looks like a security incident to me.
I'm going to put a feature request in to make it work on the Palm Pilot.
Backwards compatibility, huh? Rob says, just wait. Somewhere there will be the JC console up on one of those OLED billboards because someone forgot to blink the system. Wait, now we all need to go to Vegas for work, right? You may be right, Kelly. I wouldn't want to live there though. I mean, I have friends who have lived there, but yeah, you're right. If your visa is valid until 2027, good thing there's no dark mode. It wouldn't work very well in the sky with drones. You're right. Oh, Nathan, when is skinning theme support coming? Did you put in a request for that? Because you know we're going to sound like a broken record. Put in your request for that. Your feature request. And Nervous, you put that in the chat. Okay. I think we have killed this topic, but we do have IT news. So I didn't get to all of them last week, but we've got plenty this week.
And it's not all bad. Yay! Okay, so everybody strapped in and ready to go, because obviously we're starting with a CISA notice.
CISA's really been on it.
Threat actor leverages compromised account of former employees to access state government organization. A state government organization was notified that documents containing host and user information, including metadata, were posted on a dark web brokerage site. After further investigation, the victim organization determined that the documents were accessed by the compromised account of a former employee. This is why offboarding is important. Threat actors commonly leverage valid accounts, including accounts of former employees who have not yet been properly removed from Active Directory to gain access to organizations, which is why with JumpCloud, you can just deactivate or suspend a user and none of that's going to be a problem. Always be plugging. CISA and the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center assessed that an unidentified threat actor likely accessed documents containing host and user information to post on the dark web for profit after gaining access to the account of a former employee. So
don't put your information in a doc where someone can grab it and use it. That's why you use things that are secure to share stuff.
Offboard your user.
A password manager.
Suspend inactive users. I just want to like beat them on and suspend them.
Yes. And what is it? Least privilege? Use that as a practice.
Zero trust. And along the same lines, ongoing campaign compromises senior execs' Azure accounts and locks them using MFA. I think this might be the first one I've read that has MFA being used to lock people out of their own accounts. Deep breath. The campaign attempts to compromise targeted Azure environments by sending account owners emails that integrate techniques for credential phishing and account takeovers. Phishing, Dale's old time. The threat actors are doing so by combining individualized phishing lures with shared documents. So some of the documents embed links that when clicked redirect users to a phishing webpage. Once accounts are compromised, the threat actors secure them by enrolling them in various forms of multi-factor authentication. Oh, this can make it harder for victims to change passwords or access dashboards to examine recent logins. In some cases, the MFA used relies on a one-time password sent by text message or phone call. But in most instances, the attackers employ an authenticator app with notifications and code. So we're out here telling everybody to enable MFA, and the threat actors are like, what if we turn that against you? So everybody disable it. No, I'm not going to say that for legal reasons.
So Mark wants to know, what is the news article titled? Ongoing campaign compromises senior execs' Azure accounts, locks them using MFA. That was from Ars Technica. Yeah,
and all the links are going to be in the show notes, so you can read in further detail.
Ross says MFA SMS worked real well yesterday for AT&T customers. That just wreaked havoc on so many people.
I saw that, but I figured it wasn't worth putting in the IT news because everybody probably knew. So it's not new, cool information. This one I saw all over Twitter before I saw this article, but Google pauses Gemini's ability to generate AI images of people after diversity errors. Google says it's pausing the ability for Gemini AI to generate images of people after the tool was found to be generating inaccurate historical images. Gemini has been creating diverse images of the US founding fathers and Nazi-era German soldiers in what looked like an attempt to subvert the gender and racial stereotypes found in generative AI. So all the stuff I saw on Twitter was just like, try and generate a white male image and it won't do it. Like it generated like images of the Pope and like all of this as non-white people. So that was interesting. So some Gemini users have been requesting images of historical groups or figures like the founding fathers and found non-white AI generated people in the results. That's led to conspiracy theories online that Google is intentionally avoiding depicting white people.
Wow.
I have so much to say, but I'm not going to say. Now moving on to some good-ish news. Reddit finally filed for IPO. After years of speculation, Reddit has finally officially filed paperwork for an initial public offering on the New York Stock Exchange. The company plans to use RDDT as a ticker symbol and will allow some long-time users to participate by buying shares. The company didn't say how many users might be able to participate, but it said that eligible users would be determined based on their karma scores, while moderator contributions will be measured by membership and moderator actions.
Okay, now
So
I've
if
been
you
having
have,
a. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you have like 8 million in Reddit karma, now's your time.
So I've been having a conversation with community colleagues on this, and I actually know a couple of people who are were formerly at Reddit. So we've been having this conversation about this and about the levels of karma. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I've been an active user, but I didn't hear about this yet. So they were talking about the amount of karma, and I thought I had a fair amount of karma. Apparently I don't, compared to the levels you have to be to get this offer. I don't even make tier 5. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. But we were also talking about how much the CEO makes.
Isn't he Serena Williams' husband? Not the same guy. It's a Reddit CEO, Serena Williams' husband. Am I remembering this correctly?
I'd have to look that up really quickly.
I am doing that.
Somebody checked their S1 and the CEO's total comp from 2023. Anyone want to take a guess, or has already looked at the S1?
Yeah, he's co-founder of Reddit.
$193 million in 2023. And they were the moderators and people that actually run the community itself wanted to give away stock to active Redditors and stuff, and that got thrown away. But they are giving active community members the option to buy. But yeah, Kelly, it's 193 million, and yet they've done layoffs and they're not making a profit. But hey, he's still getting 193 million, and they're going to an IPO.
That's so hard. It's just subtraction, guys. In other disgustingly large money number news and Reddit, that was the worst segue. But Reddit says it's made 203 million so far licensing its data. In its IPO prospectus filed today with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, Reddit repeatedly emphasized how much it thinks it stands to gain and has gained from data licensing agreements with companies training AI models on its over 1 billion posts and more than 16 billion comments. In the prospectus, it says in January 2024, we entered into certain data licensing arrangements with an aggregate contract value of 203 million and terms ranging from 2 to 3 years. We expect a minimum of 66.4 million of revenue to be recognized during the year ending in December 31st, 2024, and the remaining thereafter. And also there's like all kinds of rumors that like Google is one of these contractors.
Oh, look, they made $203 million, just enough to pay their CEO. That's why they're not making a profit, because they're paying him so much.
Subtraction. I don't get why it's so hard.
I mean,
Is it because the numbers are so big? Does it get confusing for them to subtract?
I think the problem a lot of people have is when CEOs make such a disproportionate amount compared to the average or median employee salary. Like there are some CEOs that do a lot and they work ridiculous hours and things like that. But when you are making thousands of times more than your regular employees who actually run the business for you, I think that might get all right. That probably shouldn't.
My question is, what do you do with all that money? Like, what is left to spend on? How many jets is too many jets?
I mean, Brandon said, "Man, if only we could find something to budget cut." That's it right there. If people that make that much money would cut their salaries instead of cutting everything else that they're cutting in the company, I mean, maybe they wouldn't have to cut people's jobs who rely on that to, take care of their families. Buy Reddit Gold, Ross says. Yeah, that'll take care of it.
My correction to that is buy Reddit, but Rob says just dive into pools of it. Would that bring you joy, Rob?
Yep, Scrooge McDuck. Yeah. That is exactly
That's the only thing. That's the only thing you can do with that much money.
Mm-hmm.
If I had that much money, that's exactly what I would do. Convert it to gold bullion and jump into it.
I don't think that would be very pleasant, though. I think it would hurt. But yes, you have to maybe do a swim backwards in it. Rob says, "I think
paper cuts. There will be so many paper cuts."
No, gold bullion.
No,
gold bullion does not give you paper cuts.
My bad.
But it would be very hard to dive into. I think that would hurt. So Rob says,
"You can just be rebuilt as a robot."
There you go. Becky, I think I read that in 1970, CEO pay was 4 to 10 times over the lowest pay, and now it's 500 times. Yeah, I think you're right, Rob. I think I've read something very similar, and it's a little bit ridiculous. Brandon, if CEOs make less money, they won't be motivated to be such leaders. I think part of the problem is the way the stock market and stockholders and push to get short-term gains instead of looking more longer term. I'm a stockholder. I buy on the stock market, but I don't. They're not asking me. I want things to look at more longer term stuff rather than, looking for the short term gains, because I'm playing the long game for things like retirement and stuff. Rob says, leaders, that word you are using, I do not think it means what you think it means.
I didn't want to say that one out loud. I put it in the chat.
Yeah. That, but Kelly said earlier that where was it? I prefer this week in ludicrous dollar amounts to the usual this week and why IT people can't sleep. That's true. We usually dive deep into all the cyber attacks and what CISA's doing this week and what our overlords are planning, our IT overlords. So maybe it's a nice change of pace. So, well, maybe we should go back to what are you doing this weekend to kind of lighten it up before we sign off.
I will be spending 1 minute's worth of a CEO's income drinking with my cousins.
Rob, what are you doing? Is the weather going to be good down in South Carolina?
Oh, it's hopefully it's gonna be nice, but I'll be doing baseball practice. I've entered that phase of life where I'm at baseball fields 4 or 5 hours a week, and then like with 4-year-olds running around tackling each other over a baseball, which is adorable until one of them gets hit in the face. Then it's a little bit sad, but well, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. I tell my kids that all the time because they're in this wrestling phase where they'll be running around and beating each other with pillows or just dragging each other around the house and fighting, but fun fighting, not mean fighting. And I'm like, y'all, somebody's gonna get hurt, and then you're gonna storm off mad. Sure enough, every time. And now I understand why my dad would get annoyed when we would do that, because at some point your tolerance level is just like, this is too much noise. Like I've let it go for about 20, 30 minutes, and now I don't want to hear that noise anymore. And I totally get what my dad was doing when he would do that, because it's just like it's up to here, and then it's like, oh nope, I've reached the limit. I don't want to hear it anymore.
If I had a porch and a lawn, I would 100% be sitting on the porch telling kids to get off my lawn. I know it.
Next
it's
step
a fun phase of life.
inside.
When you can get to that point where you can be like, get away, or I've yelled at people driving too fast down my street. I'm like, oh my God, now I'm my dad. But you know what? They're driving like idiots. So
I live across from the park, and I will hear people out there, like it's supposed to close at dark, right? Because when people are over there after dark and they can't see, then they're just tearing things up, right? So I find myself going out there and yelling at because they're teenagers and they're not supposed to be there after dark. I find myself going, y'all are supposed to be over at the park after dark. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, baloney, you did know. Because you can't get the keys don't work after dark. So if they got in there, either somebody left the gate open or they climbed over this really tall fence. So I'm like, oh man, I am that old lady now. Dang it. When did that happen? So it does. Somewhere you cross over and it just, you become your parents. I'm sorry, but one day that mustache you put on, it's not going to come off.
I pay salons a large amount of money to make sure it comes off.
No, I'm talking about the one you paste on.
Oh, that's
it's
just
gonna be like one of those sci-fi things where you go, oh my God, it won't come
I don't even need the sticker. I just need to stop going to salon. I'll have it. Shout out to Ross's comment that said, just set up an open Wi-Fi and yell at people to get off your land.
But you pronounce it the Southern way. You say lawn instead of land. So that way it's.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I need one of those.
Oh my God.
Jonathan tells me I need one of those directional speakers that play spooky stuff. Scare them off.
Rob, it's like it's fun in games until someone loses an eye, and then it's fun in games you can't see. You're going to get us canceled, Rob. I take no ownership for having read that out loud, but you're going to cancel us.
Oh, Kelly's router is named Juan Solo, and access point is named Lando Calrissian. I love it. Wait, I got to throw that up on screen because that way people can see how it's done. Lando Calrissian. Mine is named Nacho Wi-Fi. It's mine.
I like that.
Not yours. It's mine.
Mine is pretty regional specific, so unless you know the slang of Bangalore specifically, it makes no sense. So another time.
Oh, Isaac, your neighbors is also. I mean, one of my friends used to have one called Super Secret Spy Van, and then another one had one that said "Get free virus here" to keep people away from it.
Well, if you want a free virus, just email Rob McGrath at jumpcloud.com and he will send you one malware that you can download for free.
Oh boy.
I love the get off my LAN. And Bell Canada used to use person's phone number as their default Wi-Fi password. And Ross says for some that's super secure, they don't even know their home phone number.
This is true. My granddad had his phone number as the password for his home Wi-Fi and repeatedly forgot his own phone number. So that was always fun.
Yeah. Every neighborhood in Portland has at least one network named something like FBI Surveillance Van 3. Yeah, that was, I've seen those a lot. There's also, so you want to use my stuff, go away. Roger, change your password. Those are funny. Aw, that's mean, Brandon. Urvish, you're going to take down the trustworthy score of the Jump Cloud domain emails. All right, y'all.
Legally,
We're going to end a couple minutes early.
It was a joke.
I can still see the little bit of the mending on your hand.
Oh yeah, cool. I still have it looks so faded away now, but it's like looks like I have a weird rash. It was pretty when it was like nice.
You look like you're not real. You look like you're just a part of the because you're glitching out, so you're just a part of the matrix. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for all the questions. Let's check the poll. We're up to 15, so that is awesome. Urvashi, if you can, when you download the list of attendees, we can see who voted yes, and you can get that list to Rob there. And we will see you next week. What's our topic next week? It is, Tom's going to be with us, and we're going to be talking about the results of our SME IT Trends report, which is going to be awesome. And we're having a customer webinar for that on Tuesday, the 27th at 12 Eastern. So if you want to attend that, wait, I've got a, hang on. I've got a link for that.
Oh, I was pulling that up.
I had a short bit.ly link for it. So if you want to join that, if you're a customer and you want to join that, please do. But if you missed that, we will have Tom back on the IT Hour to give a recap and talk more about the results of that survey. So Kelly's going to start practicing her heckling now. I will make sure Tom knows that. And with that, we will see you next Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I guess we'll see you in March. So take care, everyone. Talk to you soon.